For all the kids out there that think they can pull off the same stunts as the nice guys, hey, don't try this at home. Being a jackass is a lot harder than you think.
Jeremy Clarkson was fired from Top Gear in March of 2015. Oh, shit. Why? Because he physically and verbally assaulted a producer. Oh, my God.
I mean, come on. Who doesn't do that?
Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only. And the nice guys on business. Fuck you. That's my name. You know why, mister? Because you drove a Hyundai to get here tonight. I drove an $80,000 BMW. The nice guys on business. That's my name. Most days, they take their meds. This is not one of those days. Welcome to Fuckery with the Nice Guys. No interviews, no business content. Just your two favorite slack-jawed mouth breathers ranting about whatever. Now, strap yourselves in for Nice Guys Fuckery with the kings of fuckery, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
I think but the bigger question is, who is going to be co-hosting with you, not next week, but the following 2 weeks after?
Oh, are you in Italy?
I will be in Italy. Buongiorno. And that's all I know. That's it. I got nothing.
Damn. I better make a note about that. Although it's probably on our calendar, right? Like on your turnkey calendar.
At least it's on my calendar. I don't know if it's on your calendar, but you have access to my calendar. I am an open book when it comes to scheduling.
Oh, there it is. Doug in Italy.
Yep.
Doug in Italy. So leaving on the 19th of June.
You might have to have one week might have to be a panel conversation with a whole bunch with every community member that wants to participate. And I'm sensing that there might be an Emily Aborn episode that is forthcoming. Well, you'd have to ask her though.
I will have to check with her on that. Yeah.
Yeah, but she is never short of topics, and she always comes very much like Erica comes very prepared to the conversation with all sorts of topics and questions and current state of affair and all of that. All of
that. And my mug, drinking my coffee. Welcome back. My name's Strickland Bond. On the other side of the microphone, Mr. Doug Sandler.
Hey. So we did have the $1 million conversation today with our $1 million new partner, Dennis, and we have everything underway, and everything's looking really good at this point. And this is about the place where most of the time the wheels come off the bus. So it's not like I want to go into this with a negative attitude. I want to be very positive about it. I'm just hoping that everything that we hope is going to happen I know we're going to fulfill our obligation from our side. I know that. Well,
we're going to figure out what the workflow is for our obligation first, because it is a bit complicated. There are a number of things. So for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, we are whitelisting our whitelisting, right? Whitelabeling our podcast production services for another company that is going to focus more on selling, and we're going to focus more on delivering great customer service. But they have a pretty complex setup.
Which makes me appreciate you that much more.
Thank you.
What's really interesting is I was listening to their system, and I started hearing Charlie Brown's Teacher when they got to the 18th spreadsheet that I could not believe how many spreadsheets they used. The other thing that was interesting was, and not at all to belittle their system at all, because I'm sure it's a great system and they're dialed into their system, but for such a technology driven organization, I thought that they would probably have more of it would be the other way, that we would have what they have and they would have what we have.
I was a bit surprised also at, it's like, well, we're using Box. Well, you got lots of big files, use Box or Dropbox or Google file, whatever. I get that. But then, and then we're using Google Drive for this stuff. I'm like, okay, two different, why don't you just use Google Drive for everything?
Right,
but okay.
Right,
And then we got this spreadsheet. Okay, and this has all the links, but then that links to this other spreadsheet.
Yeah, like,
and so how do you know when it's
within.
done? Well, I changed the color from light green to dark green.
Woo!
Like, oh, that's
And
pretty
you know
scientific.
me and my color-coded spreadsheets, as long as the colors are blue,
You're okay.
I am good. But there was many colors on that spreadsheet. I at some point my eyes kind of glassed over and I was still listening, but I couldn't comprehend, which is again why it's so important that you are a part of all of this.
Oh, yeah. I definitely will be spending a good amount of time over the next few days sorting through and translating exactly what it is they're doing and figuring out how to make sure we don't miss anything and that we can somehow translate it. And I'd love to simplify it too, but one step at a time.
I know, but Strickland, I could see you having a conversation with Dennis and taking it to the next level and just saying, look, I'm not forcing this on you at all, but can I just show you our system and what we have? Because I don't think that there was one thing within their system, with one exception. They said they don't want their clients to look beyond email. They don't want to teach their clients another system because the last thing he wanted was another system for them to have to. But at the same time, but doesn't that make it really more complicated for everybody? It just seemed like it was more complicated for everybody.
I couldn't agree with you more. And I need to dig deeper into their customer service request stuff because it sounded like they encourage their clients to email them, which all goes into one central email. And that email gets forwarded to the person that is supposed to do it. I'm like, that does not feel efficient at all. But that's okay.
Again,
we're going to figure it all out.
We are going to figure it out, and we will either ride along with their system and not make any waves, or we will share with them what we do. Did we have them sign a contract for us? We signed a contract for them saying we would not reveal any of their system at all. But
there are a lot of things that I think could be done much better and easier in Monday.com. But again, we're gonna crawl before we walk, and we'll figure it out.
I do love that. I do love that. I have one thing and only one thing that I must do in 25 minutes, and that is take the ribs that are going to be at hour 5 at the top of the hour at hour 5 and take them off, wrap them in a towel and put them in a cooler. So when they are completely done and settled and rested for an hour after that, I will be ready for a nice smoked ribs dinner.
You know, you with your smoker, you cook ribs. It sounds like pretty often.
Often, yeah.
I've done it twice now.
Yeah.
And we actually have 2 other racks of ribs in the freezer, but they've been in the freezer for months.
Yeah.
Like, I like ribs, but we do turkey breast.
Yeah. Well, you got your thing.
Like every other week. I mean, we've done half a dozen turkey breasts, and they are fucking delicious. We did one. Vera did one a couple days ago, and I think we usually smoke it at 250, 260 or so. Well, she did it at 225.
225. Yeah,
like
that's the magic number.
That's
slow. That's the magic number.
Like for the last 40 minutes, tapped it up to like 340, and oh my God, it was
if you
delicious.
really want to experiment, go down to 205. Put it on 205. You'll probably have to add another hour, maybe 2 hours onto it. But the results and around 2 or 3 hours in, I don't know how long do you generally cook it if you're doing 250?
Geez, I don't even know. It's 2 or 3 hours because it's usually like 2.5, 3 pound turkey.
Got it. So what I would do is probably an hour with that size. I would probably do like an hour or so into the cook. You've got a good smoke ring already. Wrap them in. Do you do any butcher paper, or have you never done butcher paper?
After it's done cooking, we take it out and. Well, no, you put butcher paper on it while it's cooking still for turkey?
Yeah. So take the butcher paper, wrap it an hour or 2 into it, and it will stop the drying, and it will actually keep it moister if more moist if you do that. Just wrap it and put it back on there and leave it on there until it reaches whatever temperature. I don't know what the final temperature for turkey or chicken should be. But I know it's above 165.
When do we wrap it in butcher paper?
Well, do you have a good smoke ring, or do you have like a good? Is there any crisp to the outside of it, or is it just have a smoky
we
flavor?
Typically do not do anything crisp on the outside, which I like. I mean, I think the first one we did, I think the skin was a little crispy and dried out, and it wasn't really that good.
Okay, so before it dries out, then you wrap it in butcher paper and you put it back on the smoker, and it remains even more moist than it's already been. Now, if you're not having any problem with that, but you could smoke a turkey breast or a tri-tip or a brisket. Oh my gosh, brisket is so good. Brisket, be prepared to spend 10 or 12 hours with that smoker running.
Yeah, I need to get a small brisket and try that out.
Yeah, like a 3 or 4 pound brisket is really, you can do that.
Yeah, because the big ones, it's like, that's expensive. That's fucking many, many, many hours. And if it goes bad, I don't want to say I've wasted that much time.
Yeah. Well, it is very good. If you have a 3 to 4 pound brisket, you probably need maybe 6 to 8 hours on that. And again, same thing, just maybe 3 or 4 hours into it, you're going to wrap it and put it back on there. And it's just so good and tender. Get it right up to 200, 197 to 200. And by the time it's done resting, it'll be about 203, 205. That's like the perfect temperature for a brisket.
Nice. Love it.
So what's going on today? I came to the table with no subjects other than ribs.
Well, apparently,
yes.
Trump apparently today made an announcement.
Oh,
an announcement that made the stock market jump. Okay. And do you know what the announcement was?
No, that he's
a deal with Iran. The Strait of Hormuz is going to be opened.
Wait, we just bombed them. He's like, well, of course we're going to bomb them. They knocked down one of our helicopters, so of course we have to do that. Now, how did that result in, of course, we've made an agreement?
Well, this is what's funny, because in fact, you know what? I'm not going to ask you the question. I'm going to ask ChatGPT the question.
Okay.
How many times has Trump said that the Strait of Hormuz will be open soon?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Because what's amazing to me, like the stock market, right? You talk about like it's these fucking smart businessmen and investors, and you got to really know what you're doing. But when Trump says this Strait of Hormuz will be open this weekend, they all get excited. This is the 27th fucking time he said it.
I know. Or the stock market goes up in relationship to something else that happened, and they just happen to say, well, what else happened in the news today that was worthy of the stock market going up? I'm like, I don't understand. The stock market, I thought it was based upon like a good product, proper numbers, revenue. No, it's emotional. It's fucking emotion, just like everything else in life. God. But look, if it jumped almost 2%, 1.86% today, and the S&P went up 1.75%, and all of the stocks that I had apparently have gone, how much did I make today? How much did I make in the market today? Let's take a look. How much
did I make today?
I'm very curious how the market did. Now,
day trader talking right there.
Well, it doesn't really matter how much I made today, because it's not like I'm ever going to be cashing out this until I get to retirement today. But $8,100 today.
So really? That's significant.
So that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. So that was the stock market. But tomorrow, when he says we're going to bomb somebody in, it's going to go down $8,100.
Right. Exactly.
It doesn't matter. I just want to take the positive days and just cash out those days. The negative days, I wonder how that would work. If every day I took the profit, but on the down days I took nothing, how much would I make in the course of the year? Wow.
Only if it was that easy, right?
Well,
like I want to take the gains when it goes up. I just don't want to deal with the losses when it goes down. Sure, if it was only that easy, we'd all be stockbrokers.
Yeah, I guess not. I guess not that easy. God damn. Hey, we might even have some voicemails in there, do we?
Well, the 5th, June 5th was last Friday, right?
June 5th
Yeah.
was last.
Yeah, we
Yes,
have
Friday.
3 voicemails that
Whoa.
Ashley put in on June 5th. So
Okay.
I guess then that means that they are new ones.
Yes, they would all be new ones. I think here's what we should do. Let's get right into the voicemails.
Mm-hmm.
That'll probably give us a little fodder for conversation beyond us making up shit as we go along. Not that that would be
Mm-hmm.
different than any other week. And then we'll figure out what to do next. And you never know. We might. Well, just keep in mind in 15 minutes I got to go wrap the ribs and keep them on for one more hour.
Well, God forbid, maybe we do like a shorter episode today.
Okay, let's do that.
We can
That'll
do that.
never fucking work. You know that.
It'll never happen, you think?
No, it'll never happen. But that's okay. We can start with our voicemails and we will take it from there.
All righty, here, let's click that, carry the 2, put that over here, and make sure we have this setting right here like that.
Very nice.
Well, if all my calculations are correct, you should hear something right about now. We got a voicemail from Jared. I said a voicemail from Jared. You know a voicemail from Jared. Nobody else will call. We got a voicemail from Jared. Screw the rest of y'all.
All I have to say is thank God. Just thank God. My neighbor, next door neighbor, who we know and love, my next door neighbor, he is going on a cruise with his wife and entire family, and we're going to meet them in Italy, not this coming week, but the end of next week. And yesterday, let's see, what's today? Thursday. So I'm sorry, on Monday, a coyote jumped over the wall and attacked one of his chickens.
Attacked one of his chickens.
Didn't kill the chicken because she came running out of the house and scared the coyote away. But the chicken does now have maybe a permanent limp. We're not 100% sure.
How long do chickens live?
At least a few years, I think.
Yeah.
Because these have lived at least a couple years, and they don't seem old or gray or anything.
And how many chickens do they have?
Right now they have 7 chickens. I think they had 9, but they lost 2. They lost our favorite one, Whitey. Whitey would jump the fence over into our yard and then peck all of the bugs out of our little garden, which was great because we had a noticeably lesser amount of earwigs this last season that he was alive than we did after she had gone. So we were very sad to see Whitey go.
How tall is the fence?
Well, Whitey would jump on top of the chicken coop, which was about 4.5 feet high. So I think they can flap their wings enough to get 4.5 feet, then onto the fence and then over the fence. And then the challenge was Whitey, because we have a 5 foot, maybe, let's see, 5 foot, maybe, yeah, 5 foot fence. Whitey could
so
not
if you're
jump.
standing at the fence, you can see over it?
Yes, exactly. I can see over. It's about chin height for me.
That's a resourceful chicken right there.
Yeah. Well, the problem was that she could not jump back
because she had no coop on your side to jump back to.
But she was trainable, so we told her where to go to get back over the fence, and she would jump on top of the pool cover holder and then up to the top of the fence and then back over. But it was in a completely different area. But one morning, she was simply gone. She was gone. She was gone, which is sad because you grow this attachment to the chickens. And, we leave our cats out during the day. And this chicken was attacked on Monday at like 6 o'clock in the morning. And I'm not saying that is in the middle of the day, but that certainly is beyond darkness. I mean, it was very light outside. And normally we don't get coyotes. They must be pretty hungry. Or maybe the colonel gave them some directions how to get down to the chicken house. I don't really know. Anyhow, so I'm sorry that Parmigiana, the one that got injured, I think she's on the mend. But thank God it happened. We're watching their chickens this week. So
Parmigiana?
Yeah, they have. I think it's Louis, Parmigiana, Kim, 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 Kim.
What?
They have 4 Kims. Makes it easier because the chickens are all the same coloring.
Wow.
Yeah.
Parmigiana.
Anyhow.
I mean, is that's like, is one called fricassee and one is called fried and one, I mean, come on. Is
Oh
that
man.
like,
I don't know. They
does
love
not
their
seem
chickens.
appropriate?
Hey, look,
Parmigiana.
they deliver 5 eggs a day. So and we are the recipients of many eggs. We've gotten several dozen eggs from them. I would like to have chickens too, but I would get too attached to the chickens, and then there would be the problem with the coyotes because you can't. It's not like you can put your chickens inside the house.
Mm.
They have a coop, but they like to be out and free during the day. And why would you buy it or own a chicken if you can't let it, let
Well, you
it go?
can't put them in the coop overnight when
No,
the
they go in the
coyotes are
coop
out?
overnight, but when they let them out in the morning, I
Mm.
would just get too attached. There's too many. It's too many things. Too much heartbreak. That's pets are really challenging because there's so much. Yes, there's a lot of love. There is a fuck ton of heartache when you lose a pet. Like when we lost Bella. Bella was only here for a year and a half with us. When we lost Bella to a coyote, it was heartbreaking. You blame
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
worse when you start finding pieces of the cat
Oh.
throughout your yard.
All right. I think it's time for voicemail.
Yeah,
Here we go.
yeah,
Let's get the
yeah,
first
yeah.
one out.
Okay.
Hey, Doug. Hey, Strick. Jared here. So it's so good hearing you guys. You just make my Fridays. I just got to tell
Thank
you
you.
that.
Love that.
It's shit sandwich coming.
You guys are, man, shit. You're all over the place. Not really, but you were talking about Jeffrey Gitomer's potential alleged divorce, and Doug, you were talking about the year, and you went 2004, 2014, 2024. Grandma, man, you remind me of my grandparents when I was little, and they were trying to say the names of either their own children, so my dad, my aunts, my uncles, things like that, or my parents, as they were trying to yell at me and my brother. So they'd have to go through one to get to the other and could never start with the right names.
Totally.
At least we can count on you for that.
Yep.
And then you guys are just now getting started into talking about the Donny Osmond show. And matter of fact, I think my voicemail may have even been about that shit. I don't even remember now. I'll know soon enough. But you were wondering about talking about that, and in case you don't figure it out, you guys were talking about it from what I remember, and fuck, it's been a week ago, right? Or not even a week ago for me, because, anyways, when I listened to it. You guys were talking about previous visits, and a visit was coming up with Strickland, and he bought that meet and greet thing. So I get to listen to that, the aftermath of that. Hopefully that went really well. And as always, guys, love you, appreciate you, and love the show. See you, fellas.
Now that wasn't the sandwich. Like there was nothing.
No,
negative
there was
in
no.
there.
That was all.
It was all
good.
positive.
All positive. There was no shit sandwich there. One of the things that I recognized when Jared was leaving that message, he was talking about something that we were going to talk about later in the episode, but because he left this voicemail before he heard the episode, he did not realize that we had talked about it. So it actually feels like the voicemail is 2 weeks old rather than 1 week old. But it was a timely voicemail, but we weren't there in the timeline yet. So there was a lot of meta stuff happening in my head. I'm like, hold on a second. How does he not know? Because he's playing this after, but it's before. And okay, carry the one. Yeah, I got it now.
Yeah, I was confused too.
Yeah. Okay. Voicemail number 2.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, Doug. Hey, Trick. Jared here. Voicemail number 2. Holy fuck, you can't make this shit up. You spent the first, half hour talking about somebody couldn't do tech, and then all of a sudden...
Hang on. We spent the first hour talking about what?
Tech? Did we? I don't remember.
I don't know. Let me play it again. I couldn't know what he said.
You spent the first, half hour talking about somebody couldn't do tech, and then all of a sudden you can't talk to Trick anymore?
Oh.
This is fabulous. What a great episode. Oh, shit.
Okay, well, I'm not putting together. I don't remember what did we talk about.
I don't remember what we talked about either, but what I'm assuming, based upon the voicemail that was left, is we spent the first 30 minutes talking about tech, maybe technology, and then we had a tech issue and we couldn't work through the tech issue ourselves, which is funny because we were just probably bashing somebody that
I think it was Riverside. We were bashing Riverside.
Oh my God. Promise me we never have to return to them again, at least for us. And I know that there are a lot of clients, I think our new clients are all using Riverside, but we don't have to deal with the production. We're just dealing post-production, and it's a great sounding product in post, but when you're doing it, it's a shit show. I hate that. I hate not being able to watch you real time. I'm watching you and then I'm seeing you slow down, but your voice stays there. And then I see your voice, your face catch up with, it's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Okay, hang on.
Let's get work that shit out.
So is that a little bit of karma coming to get you?
Yep.
Is that, I don't know what that is, but anyways, that's funny as hell. As always, guys, love you. Appreciate the show. See ya.
Yeah, we are nothing if not ironic.
No, we are very ironical. Now, that last voicemail does not appear, at least in my non-educated world, to be a Jared voicemail. Now, what are you thinking?
I agree 100%. It does not look like a Jared voicemail. The voice pattern, the visual pattern does not look like Jared.
Now, could you... There are some noticeable gaps in that. Now, would you normally just be editing those as we are playing them, or
they're not really huge although no, I guess when I zoom in, like, we can get rid of that one. Now the question though is, who actually is it?
So it's a combination of who it is, and like you get to notice what, like that. Some of those look like definite ums.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's either Erica or Emily.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's either Erica or Emily. I'm not sure.
Well, we're gonna see. There's a lot of noticeable gaps in there, and yeah, okay, let's do it. But it definitely does not look like it's a much tighter wavelength. It does not appear to be the same wavelength as Jared. Now, it could be Jared from home as opposed to Jared in the car. So let's see.
Possible, but I don't think that's it.
Okay, let's go.
All right, here we go.
Hello, Doug Sandler and Mr. Flynn Bonner. It is I, Emily Aborn, hailing from New Hampshire. So many things. Oh my God, your episode was so good.
Okay, now I got to say something though right now. Emily, thank you for calling before I even hear what you say. I'm feeling a little obligated now because Jared said what a great episode last week, and now Emily is going to, and now I'm like, well, shit, if we do it kind of short today, we're kind of disappointing everybody.
Well, I don't know that anything that I heard led me to believe better is more. It could always be better is concise. Better is actually better in some cases. Could it have been a great episode today? But if we would have gone a half hour as opposed to an hour, this was a fucking awesome episode. We don't know what the better represents, do we?
No, but I don't feel like this one has been better so far.
Well, wait.
But hey, that's just me.
Strick, every time that you get up to the plate, are you always swinging for the fences, or do you sometimes just get up to the plate because you're Cal Ripken and you feel obligated to show up today?
Oh, damn. Now we're the Cal Ripkins of podcasting.
Well, I'm beginning to feel like how many, I would like to know with some sort of accuracy, how many podcasts have over 1,000 episodes, and then how many have over 1,500, and how many have over 1,700 episodes? I would have to think that it is such a small percentage of podcasts that have that many episodes.
I'm gonna have to look it up now. But it is the top of the hour. Do you need to go do something?
Oh, yes. Could I go do that? I just have to take them off of the smoker. You either going to play?
Am I allowed to play Emily's voicemail, or do I have to wait for you to get back?
No, I want to hear it. Can you just give me like 3 minutes to do this?
Okay, so what you're saying is that I can't play it while you're doing that.
Well, you can, but you have to
to
play it again, though.
Well, but what if we don't want to hear it twice?
I could, you know what? I could join Zoom on my phone and take you with me.
That would be fun.
I could.
And you can tell us all about wrapping your. That's okay. I can. Meander, wander.
Okay. All right. I'll be right
shoot
back.
Shoot the shit for the next 2 or 3 minutes. Let's see. I did ask Chat GPT how many podcasts have more than 1,000 episodes, and there isn't a definitive industry count, but we can make a reasonable estimate. Now, that seems kind of silly because, I thought Chat GPT and Claude, like, they know fucking everything, and whatever they don't know, they could figure out or at least lie about. So it's weird that they're just going to make a reasonable estimate. But they're saying 1,000 plus episodes, that there are 1,000 to 5,000 shows that have more than 1,000 episodes. How about how many podcasts have more than 1,500? Because that's really where we are. 1,500. We're at 1,700 plus episodes right now. So let's take a look. Oh, now this is fucked up. All right. This is why you should not fucking trust AI, right? So when I said how many have more than 1,000 episodes, it's like, there's no definitive industry count, but we can make a rough estimate of 1,000 to 5,000 episodes. Many of them that have exceeded are daily news shows, sports recap shows, niche hobby or educational podcasts. The Daily has well over 2,000 episodes. Stuff You Should Know has over 1,000. That's probably a pretty interesting show. Stuff You Should Know. Car Con Carne. I don't know what the fuck that is. Doug would probably know what it is. Sounds like a car show. Recently celebrated its 1,000th episode. But then I said, how many have more than 1,500? And the first thing it says is a surprisingly useful data point exists for this. Why would a useful data point exist for 1,500 but not for 1,000? That's weird. The podcast analytics site Podscan publishes an episode count distribution across millions of podcasts.
Okay, what do we got?
25,000 with 500 to 1,000 episodes. 9,400. Well, I was just telling everybody that when I asked ChatGPT how many have 1,000 or more episodes, ChatGPT said, I don't fucking know. I'm going to make a guess. And here's where my guess comes from. Okay.
Wait, does it actually use that language with you? Have you fed?
No, it didn't. It said, wait a minute. I just said it. There isn't a definitive industry count, but we can make a reasonable estimate. But then the next question I said was, how many have more than 1,500 episodes? And it specifically says a surprisingly useful data point exists for this. So it's like, there was no data point for 1,000, but a very specific data point for 1,500.
Okay.
Oh, but then it says Podscan publishes an episode count distribution across millions of podcasts. And as of January 2026, 9,451 have 1,000 or more episodes.
I guess then the other question is, how many have more than 1,500 episodes and are still active, meaning they have produced an episode within the last 90 days?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Anyway, that was enough of me killing time waiting for you to get back. How are your ribs looking, Doug?
The ribs look really good, and I'm sorry if I misrepresented what I was doing. I have already wrapped them. They were being pulled off of the smoker, and now I've wrapped them in towels, and now they are going to be put in. They're wrapped in 2 towels, and they're just sitting on the counter right now. They'll stay hot for about 2 hours.
We got a meat blanket or a meat bag.
Yeah, what does the meat bag do? That sounds kind of
it's like your towels.
Sounds a little
but it's
sexual. A meat bag.
It actually is a good sized bag, and it's sealed up, and it's got like a shiny aluminum foil interior, so it holds the heat in.
Yeah,
it does a great job.
Well, that might have to be my Father's Day gift to myself, a meat bag.
Yeah, I'll send you the link to the one I got. When we take our meat off to sit and settle, which you're supposed to do off of the smoker, it goes in the meat bag and does very well. Yeah.
I love this stat. It says one more interesting metric: at roughly 1,700 episodes, you've likely interviewed more guests than 99.9% plus of podcast hosts. Most shows never reach 100 episodes, and even many successful business podcasts stall well before 500.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're approximately 80 times the average podcast lifetime output.
I love that. I love that.
What?
Right.
Well, the big question is, though, it's a really simple 3-letter word. Why? Why have we continued this? Well, many reasons. Which, do you have any? Do you have any? I'm sure there are.
None of which immediately come to mind. No, I have no idea.
Well, one of which comes to mind is that, well, what better way to stay in contact with my best friend? I mean,
okay, that's a good reason.
That
that's
for
a good
me
reason.
That for me does it. That for me. JJ and I were hammering out the unlikely situation where one of the two of us dies. Okay. Not me or JJ, you or me.
Oh, you or me. I mean,
right.
I don't know how unlikely it is if you stretch the data point out longer. I mean, I think it's extremely likely at some point.
At some point, one of us will die. I agree. But the question remains, what happens to the podcast and the business? So we were trying to discern what would be the difference with if I died versus if you died. And it's very difficult. It's very hard to conceptualize what the podcast looks like and what the business looks like. Do both continue? Do neither continue? Like, what happens?
Well, the business would definitely continue. It would just change depending on, I don't know. We have gotten to the point. Clearly, we've specifically built the company so it doesn't depend on either of us very much.
Correct.
And so I think that the company would still get along fine. And we've got those what is a key man life insurance policies?
We have the policies. So in essence, if something happens to both of us, that's why we're not allowed to fly on a plane together. If something happens to both of us, does Ashley get the company? I mean, what the hell happens?
Oh, that would be crazy if something happened to both of us. I don't know.
Jeez, that would not be good.
But you see, if you die, then I get $500,000, which I can buy. I can pay JJ for your half of the company.
Correct.
Or vice versa.
Right.
But what happens to the podcast? Let's see. If I died, would you just keep doing interviews for Nice Guys on Business?
Oh, God, do I have to?
You don't have to. Would you find a new host?
The only reason I do them is because you're alive. I don't want to let you down. No, I do like the relationships that I've been able to build and the connections that I've been making out of all of the interviews, even if they don't result in even if they don't have the same purpose that they did, let's say 7 or 8 years ago. But I don't know how I would handle our Thursday our Thursday Nice Guy Fuckery episodes. Would I have a permanent like when Regis die or did he just retire? Did Regis Philbin still alive?
I think he just retired, but I'm going to look that up now.
Okay, so when Kelly continued, she had Mark come in for a little while. Then she had wait a minute, who left?
Oh my God, he died in 2020.
Really?
Wow, 6 years ago. I had no idea.
Didn't know. No idea. I used to watch Regis and Regis and Kathy Lee, and then it became Regis and Kelly, I think, and then Kelly and Mark, or there was many other temporary hosts. So it's like, okay, what happens here? And will they appreciate and respect a new person in the role of Strickland Bonner or Doug Sandler? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I would do. It just there's nobody that I want to talk to every week.
The way I feel like that too.
I mean, who would I want to spend an hour yapping with every week? I mean, every once in a while, like I love having like Emily on as a one-off co-host, but I don't know what we would talk about every single week.
And the other thing is, we're looking at it maybe a little bit not correctly. Could somebody stomach us as a co-host? We're not the epitome of preparation, So how would we get beyond that? Like somebody might say, well, I really like to do the show with you, but I need to know a little bit more about what we're going to talk about. And I would just have to say, well, I'm sorry. I guess it's game over. I guess it's time to pull the curtain on the show. The nice guys.
That's not how we run the show.
No,
sorry.
Totally not. I wonder how many podcast episodes, I wonder how many shows have more than, what's the most prolific podcast? Who has made the most episodes ever? Okay, let's see. It says Jack Spirko, the Survival Podcast, has 3,500 episodes. Adam Carolla, the Adam Carolla Show has Carolla 3,000 episodes. Joe Rogan's got 1,700. Mark Maron has 2,000. So
hang on. Who has 1,700?
Joe Rogan.
Are we getting ready to surpass him? Does he just do once a week?
I don't know.
That'd be badass if we get more episodes than Joe fucking Rogan.
My guess is that the Nice Guys on Business is likely among the top few hundred interview podcasts in the world by episode count, and comfortably in the top 0.1% of all podcasts ever created. Fun stat. If you've averaged roughly one guest per episode, well, we don't. You've probably conducted more interviews than many national radio hosts over the same period. Well, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what was the deal with I only saw a couple of headlines, but did 60 Minutes have some sort of shakeup with one of their correspondents? Do you know? Scott Pelley or Pulley or whatever his name was?
So a year or more ago, this woman, Barry Weiss, took over as the head of news at CBS, right?
Yeah. And
this was she's basically very conservative. She's like bows to Trump, right?
Yeah, right.
And I think CBS, is part of Paramount. And so they were trying to get the Paramount merger through, right?
Yeah.
And basically she fucking trashed the news division, right? The first issue was about a year ago. There was one of the reporters had a story ready to go about the I want to say internment camps, but the camps where they were.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, for like the immigration camps.
Mexican refugee camps.
Right, like the refugee, where ICE was rounding people up and mistreating them.
Right.
And 3 hours before it was going to air, Barry Weiss killed the story. She basically said, "No, we don't have enough evidence. We don't have corroboration." And 60 Minutes, right? They've been around for 50 fucking years, right?
Right.
And the reporter was like, "This is bullshit. Like, I have actual video of what is actually happening there. We don't need corroboration from the Trump administration. We're never going to get corroborate. They're never going to admit to these things that are happening. I have actual video. I was there with a cameraman." And Barry Weiss was like, "No, it doesn't seem like a solid enough story for me. I think you need to suss it out some more." And she killed it. Again, 3 hours before it was going to air. And 60 Minutes, everybody, they were like, "This is bullshit. You're just kissing Trump's ass, and this is exactly what he wants." And then like a month ago, I can't remember what the specific incident was, but Scott Pelley, I think, has been there forever. And they brought somebody else in or made some other change. And Scott Pelley was like, "Okay, this is bullshit. Like, this is the last straw. Like, you have been pushing the limits and now you're just bowing down to Trump. You're just doing whatever the administration wants because you want this merger to fly through, and this is bullshit, and I'm out of here."
I think that also, if I remember correctly, and I'm confirming this through some fact checking that I am doing. There I am doing that fact checking again. Mm-hmm. I think Anderson Cooper just left also, didn't he?
He was on CNN, right?
I don't know. Oh, I don't know.
Oh, because I think CNN is taking over CBS because they own it or something, or it's going to be the same head of news or something. It's such fucking ridiculous bullshit.
Okay. All right. So there we are.
And you know, Trump walked out on Kristen Welker because he was doing an interview, softball interview, Kristen Welker of Meet the Press.
Right. And she asked a question that was a little harder than a softball question. And he goes, interview over.
Well, she brought up, she said, so why are you saying that there's a problem with the elections in California right now?
Yeah.
And he's like, it's all fake. It's they're rigging the elections in California just like they did in 2020. I won the election in 2020. They're rigging it all. And Kristen Welker, she basically said, where's your evidence? I mean, that's a fucking hardball question, right? Like, where's your evidence? And he's like, there's plenty of evidence. There's so much evidence. I can't even see. There's a mountain of evidence. And she's like, where's the evidence? Tell me. And he basically stormed out. He's like, this is fake news and I'm not going to do this anymore. And goodbye. I'm out of here. It's insane. It's absolutely nuts.
Did we play the rest of Emily's?
No, here's the rest of it.
Okay.
Let's get on to happier conversations like Emily's voicemail.
Okay. Hello, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner. It is I, Emily Aborn, hailing from New Hampshire. So many things. Oh my God, your episode was so good. Okay, so I can't wait to hear Doug's report about how it goes with the truck. By the way, it has been forever since I called. I just looked back in my call log. April 24th, 2026. Cannot wait to hear how it goes with the truck rentals. Definitely going to need an update on that. Loved hearing from Jared and have to say I also got sappy with the story about Vera and Donny Osmond. And I just think, here's what I want to say to both of you. First of all, Strickland, thanks for being so sweet and so great. I did love Vera's invitations. They are a work of art, a masterpiece, truly stunning. Jason said it as well. And you two are just the sweetest. So I want to say thank you to Strickland for all his kind, positive words. I also loved meeting you both in person. I also wish we all lived closer.
I know.
Because I feel like we'd have so much fun. And then, Doug, there was a compliment I was going to give to you that was outside of the first one I gave to you. I think about just how, I know what I was going to say. Yes. So innovative and so creative with the truck idea. But also, I just admire your go with the flow attitude. I couldn't, if I was, oh my God, that having people in my vehicle and not knowing who those people are or where exactly I'm going. I mean, that sounds like my worst nightmare.
It's my life. And
I just admire how laid back you are, how go with the flow you are. I mean, you're OCD in your own ways, obviously, but for the most part, you're very, very cool, calm, and collected. So anyways, just want to give you both a little nice positive words today. I think we all need some more positive words. Makes the world go round. You know what I mean? Especially in the crazy times that we're living in, as they say. Okay, I'm feeling wacky today, but I just want to call and appreciate you both and can't wait till next week and goodbye.
Thanks, Emily. Wow, that's what we forgot to talk about. You have to tell us about your experience.
Yeah. So I took my car up to the local hotspot in the morning called the Duchess. Sorry, I was blanking on the name of the restaurant. And that's where everybody that is visiting town usually goes to the pastry shop. And I got a prime spot right in front of their 4 tables that they have outside. And then I promptly took one of the 4 seats and just sat there 5 feet away from my Mustang. I did not take the truck. I hung an alligator clip chain on a double-sided sign, and I think I showed you the sign, Strickland, that basically said "for rent."
So you used the generic "for rent" sign?
I did, and while I didn't get anybody to text me, I got a bunch of people that came by and took pictures of themselves in front of the car, not knowing that I was sitting right there. So every time somebody would take a picture, they'd kind of they'd look around first, and then they would see that nobody was there that maybe looked like they were in charge of the car. And then they took a couple of pictures. And then I said, do you want to get in it to take some pictures? And they would laugh, and they'd say, oh, that's your car. Or that's pretty much went down about 3 or 4 times on Saturday or Friday. I can't remember what day I did it. I think it might have been Saturday. And didn't get anybody to text me that they wanted it, but I did get a lot of people tell me their Mustang story. So I thought that was interesting also. You know, everybody's got to think about when you were in, like when I was in high school, there was one guy that had a 65 Mustang that would, a coupe, not a convertible or fastback, but a coupe. And he would bring it in the parking lot, and he'd like do donuts and, you know, all this stuff, you know, burn the wheels and do all that, whatever. And that, I just thought it was a cool car. So that's like a Mustang story. So everybody wants to share their Mustang story with me. I think I got more people that sat down at the tables next to me, and I was listening, hearing their conversation, and they were like, hey, where should we go to dinner tonight? I'm like, well, here's a good place to go to dinner. And they said, if you don't like this place for dinner, then there's a more casual place. So I was like Mr. Ojai on Saturday, but no rentals came as a result. I did, however, take the truck out on Friday, and I got somebody that texted me that said that they wanted to buy the truck.
Now, hang on. You sold 2 trucks 2 weeks ago, right?
Correct. I sold 2 trucks 2 weeks
which means you
ago.
have 2 more.
I have 2 more trucks and my Mustang, but neither the truck or the Mustang are for sale. And the one that's on my driveway in disrepair right now is not for sale yet, so they wouldn't know that they could even buy that one. But Joe, the one that I took out on Friday, had a for rent sign on it, like the one I used on Saturday, and somebody texted me and wanted to buy the truck. And I said, that truck is not for sale, but I do have others that I am restoring. And we told each other we would get in touch with each other when the truck is finished being restored.
Nice. You didn't make him give you a price for Joe?
No, because that truck is not for sale. I am not selling Joe at any, I mean, if somebody said, I will give you $50,000 for Joe, oh God. I don't know. Like, what would be the number? Yeah, maybe 50 grand. But nobody's going to offer me $50,000 unless they're just stupid. Now, I do have an interesting story about what's happening tomorrow. Now, tomorrow, well, actually today, as of the day that this airs, today is Ferrari rental day.
Oh, yeah. You were telling me about that.
Yeah, so I don't even have to go. I have a guy that's delivering the Ferrari to a sound and film studio in Los Angeles, and they're going to take pictures with it for 3 hours, and then they leave, and then I get paid. And I like
so they're not driving it anywhere. They're just doing still photos.
This is not a driver. This is you can't even move it. This is a one location shot, so they have to. Any shots that they do beyond what I've told them is going to be done, they're going to charge us more for it.
So is it a one location shot because the car doesn't actually drive, or because the contract says if you move it?
The contract is one location, one location, doesn't matter how many models, but no driving, one location shot. So if they wanted a different like angle, they could do that, but they can't move it to like another like another studio.
And you said it's like a mid 80s
82
Magnum PI Ferrari.
Here, hold on a second. Let me share my screen. Okay, I am sharing my screen. Let me move that. Here is nope, that's not it. Sorry, that's a different car. They were looking at that one first.
Oh, that's a Corvette. That's the new Corvette.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, totally. It's the 80s.
right. Magnum PI, right?
Magnum PI. You know what's funny? You know what that shape also is? What was that Ford in the 80s? The tiny one.
Ooh, not a Ford. Are you talking about the MR2?
No, it was a Ford, and it was like sporty, but it was.
Oh, right.
What the hell was
GT? Shit. What the hell was that?
Not the
Ford?
GT.
Hold on.
It's like the budget version of this Ferrari.
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
What the hell was it called? I had a friend that had one in college.
That looks like Ferrari. Ford versus Ferrari. The Ford G. Now here's a Ford GT. This looking guy right here.
No, this was like a factory model. What the hell was it? It was really.
This is the GT40. I don't know. I wonder what it is.
You know the one I'm talking about, though, right?
I thought you were talking about this.
Not Fiero, Ford Fiero.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Doesn't it look like that Ferrari? It's funny. I never thought about the name.
Yeah, this is what you're.
Right? There it is. That's it. It looks like that fucking 80s Ferrari with the square front, right?
You're right about that. It does. I never.
Fiero.
Here it is.
I never noticed that the name sounds like Ferrari, kind of, right?
Well, I think Fiero isn't that fire?
I guess.
I don't know.
You ever watch the guys, the 3 car guys that had the British show for a while?
No.
The racing, not racing show, like they review cars and shit.
Not like Motor Trend. You're talking about something else.
No, I know you know the show because they got fired from the British show after doing it for years, and then Amazon picked them up and they did the Grand Tour.
British show.
What the hell was the name of the show?
Amazon.
It's 3 guys who were all like car.
It's the Grand Tour. I don't know.
Well, the Amazon, it's the same 3 guys on Amazon. It's called the Grand Tour, but there's a show that they did on the BBC for years before that. Jeremy Clarkson is the main.
Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond, and James May.
Right. What's the British show they were on?
The famous British trio, Grand Tour, available on Amazon Prime. What was it called? BBC's Top Gear. Transitioned to Amazon in 2000. I never saw Top Gear.
Dude, you would love this show. I can't believe you never watched it. Hang on. Why was Top Gear
There was
canceled?
some controversy?
Yeah. I heard her. Why? Yeah, it was. Let's see. He was fired. Jeremy Clarkson was fired from Top Gear in March of 2015. Oh, shit. Why? Because he physically and verbally assaulted a producer. Oh, my God.
I mean, come on. Who doesn't do that? How many times have we physically and verbally badgered our producer? Wait a minute,
and following his dismissal, co-hosts Richard Hammond and James May resigned in solidarity. And then the trio, along with executive producers, subsequently moved to Amazon Prime to create the Grand Tour. You should watch an episode of the Grand Tour. So it's hard to describe because it's these 3 guys and they're car enthusiasts, right? And they apparently were all 3 writers for car magazines before the Grand Tour before the Top Gear ever started.
Right.
And they're very funny. And Jeremy Clarkson is like, drives it along. And then the other 2 guys are sort of both sidekicks. But they just do this funny, stupid shit where they'll get ridiculously expensive cars and review them. But then they do it's hard to describe. It's very unique, but it's very funny. I think you would really enjoy it.
Isn't that what we do? We do ridiculous shit with no purpose. But
that's it. I think that parts of what they do are similar to what we do. The only difference is we don't get car companies to let us borrow, $400,000 cars to drive around and play with.
I think here's where we're missing out. I mean, I really think that this is really where it is. I think that we have the substance. I think we have the right content. We just don't know how to package it up properly to sell to anybody.
True.
Because I really think that what we do, I think we need more of what we do as opposed to more of those self-help bullshit business shows that people have high aspirations and never go anywhere. There is, we have very low aspirations. We set a very low bar.
Joe Rogan was a fucking stand-up comic for
I
years.
I thought he was a wrestler guy.
No, Joe Rogan. I don't think he had anything to do with wrestling.
Wait. I thought Joe Rogan was the guy that did WFC or whatever WC. Wait, what was?
Hold on.
What
was Joe Rogan affiliated with wrestling?
let's see. Before the massive podcasting career, he was a stand-up comedian, a Taekwondo champion. That's it. Taekwondo, and a television actor and host, best known for NBC Radio and Fear Factor, and a color commentator for UFC. That's what I was thinking. But he was a commentator for UFC. He wasn't.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't understand.
The thing is, he got his start as a stand-up comedian and got pretty well known for that. And then he did Fear Factor. So he was basically a reality TV show host, right?
Yep.
And now he's got this fucking podcast, and it's like the most listened to podcast in the world. And why? Because he's some expert in something? No, he's a fucking comedian.
No. But I think he's a comedian. He's a guy that takes a stand on stuff. But I also think here's the biggest challenge for, and I'll call us, maybe a little tongue in cheek here. I'll call us normal people. Here's the biggest concern and the biggest challenge for normal people like you and me. And Emily, I'll even put you in this category too. You, me, and Emily, and most of the people in our community are normal people. We don't come to podcasting with an audience of millions of people. Proportionally, we had nobody. I had a fucking book that did okay on Amazon, but it didn't create a list of tens of thousands or millions of people. Didn't Joe Rogan come to podcasting already with a big fan base?
Yeah, that's it. It's kind of like, how do you go to Las Vegas and come home with $1 million?
You start with 10 million.
Exactly. You go with 10 million. That's it exactly. So we started with nothing, and now we have 2,000 or 3,000 downloads every episode, right? Joe Rogan started with hundreds of thousands of listeners and now has millions. You're right.
Do you think part of his appeal was that he took a stand on shit?
I think he started with a big audience, and then as he was getting feedback from his audience, okay, let's say hypothetically, trying to think of a good example of this. Let's say hypothetically that we had listeners that actually chimed in a lot.
Okay.
Now we have a handful of people like Emily and Erica and
Jared, of course, and
Tim
Sean
and Jared, of course,
Tim,
that chime in a lot.
Right.
What if we started getting lots and lots of emails and letters from people who were, let's say they were very liberal / progressive, right? We would probably lean even harder and more into bashing MAGA, bashing Trump. Like, we try to do it some right now, but we're like, fuck it, it's politics. Let's stay away from it.
Right.
If we realized that the people listening to us really loved when we do that, well, we'd lean into it more. And then maybe we'd get more people that like that and we would grow. I think that's what happened. I think he had some conservative ideas and was not afraid to say them and realized that the most vocal people listening to him were those people. So he leaned into it more. Okay.
All right. Well, is there hope for us? Do we care? I mean, I don't even know that I care. JJ has the aspires to do all of these things in her career. And believe me, I'm Mr. Supportive. I want her to propel herself to the moon as it relates to her career. I want her coaching business to go well. I want her retreat center to do well. I want her wine label to do well. I want everything she does. When she wants me to get involved in something, the first thing I think was, that sounds like work. But 10 years ago, when I was 51, I probably would have said, okay, let's figure out how to make that work. It's like every idea seems to be like almost like a hassle in my life.
Right. At 60, when we record our podcast, I aspire to make sure the record button is hit before we start.
And we don't always accomplish that either. Oh, by the way, I did that interview with the guy from Sub Summit that we did not record properly, and I dropped it into Monday.com.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
I did give you the add-on intro for it as well.
Oh, nice. Appreciate that. Thank you.
I try to make your job easy.
Yeah, really appreciate that.
At some point during Sub Summit, the conference that we went to, I would like, before we started the interview, I ducked my head backstage through the curtain and said, "Hey, Strick, don't forget to hit record here."
Well, the problem was,
got a lot going on.
The problem was, and this is me 100%, right? It's not that I was You did do that a couple times, which I appreciated. But there were 2, maybe 3 episodes.
What's up with your camera right now? You're getting a glare.
It's my blooming and my, but I figure we're wrapping up anyway, right? You don't want to actually see me. Here, I could put my son up. I could put my desk up, and then I'm not standing right in front of my blooming window.
Literally, just the sun is pouring in. I know. Strickland is angelic.
It is that time of the day. So the thing was, I mean, I was annoyed that I didn't get the beginning of it, but we had 3 cameras running.
Yeah.
And so I'm presuming, look, I'll be able to at least use that.
Fine, right.
And you know what was interesting? The last guy that went, not Mail My Meds, what was it?
Yeah, Direct Med.
Direct Meds, right?
Scott.
I actually missed the first minute of his interview also.
Oh.
But I pulled it from the camera audio. It worked fine. So I don't know what happened on the first day, why all the camera audio was horrible. I mean, it was, you know, when you've got Zoom noise reduction on.
Yeah.
And it's a really loud room.
Yeah.
The person talking. Zoom's trying to fix it, but it can't do it.
Right.
That's what the whole first day sounded like on the cameras. And then I didn't change anything, but the other 2 episodes that were on the next day, I was able to pull from the camera and cheated it and cleaned it up, and it was no problem. So
the lesson learned was that we are going to use lapel microphones with everybody and just have the record button hit the entire time. And that way we're not worried about missing a record button.
Right. Because the other one was there were so many people that are like, they're talking and then they're like, hey,
oh God, no mic presence at all. No mic presence.
Yeah. And so when I'm trying to mix live, like I'm trying to crank them up in the mixer and make sure it doesn't feed back and all this other shit. But I'm also worried that, okay, on the recording, which we're going to present later, what's that going to sound like? And you know what? We need to think of those things independent of each other. So yeah, I just want to clip on the lav mics, use that for the podcast. Yep. And then separately, I'll have my mixer and I can mix sound just for what's happening while we're there and not worry about the recording.
Is it universal speed of sound? Like if you hit record on a digital recorder and you have a camera going, can you always sync it up? Always?
Well, it depends on what you're trying to sync to. Like, you know, in Hollywood, they get the clap thing, right?
Right.
So the reason they do that is because they'll have, let's say, 2 or 3 cameras running, plus they've got an audio recording that's totally independent.
Yep.
So when you get a very sharp sound like that, it's easy to sync it all together. Now, what we have to do, in fact, this is what I had to do with our camera, our video editors, is I have to do a mix of the audio for them, which is a good clean mix, but I don't cut out any ums or ahs or anything.
Right. You can't.
Because they have to sync the video with that. So they have to visually look at somebody's mouth move and then sync it with when they hear it. Now, could we do a clap at the beginning of each episode, which would help them? Yeah, it would help. But, you know, they're talented. They can figure it out for themselves mostly.
And I don't know that when you do audio, you don't have to worry about any of that shit at all, right? It's just when you're doing video, because you've got to sync up mouth movement with audio.
Right. Well, with the audio, you got to make sure that the person is actually standing in front of the mic and is close enough to it that they can hear okay. But if we use lav mics, we don't have to worry about that.
Well, Strickland, we did it again. We somehow managed to go beyond an hour, and here we were thinking we had less than 10 minutes of content. We have seemed to have stretched 10 minutes of content into an hour and 5 minutes once again.
As we do very well somehow. I don't know how we do that.
Any recent new voiceovers from Steve-O?
No.
Okay.
He was supposed to book on the Nice Guys on Business.
Yeah, he didn't do that. You might have to harass him. I think you have a tighter relationship with Steve-O than I do, but it would be great to get him back. And I think it would be really good to have a video interview with him as well.
That would be super fun because I don't think we have him on video. for those of you in the Facebook group, you've probably seen pictures of him, like still pictures. He met Tennessee Tim in person. I've never met him. You've never met him either, have you? In person?
I don't believe I have.
If you're not in the Facebook group, go to niceshortcut.com and we'll let you in. I am re-emailing Steve O'Brien now with your link to remind him that he said he was going to be on the show. And yeah, right there.
And if you do want to see a early stage video that Strickland and I did, just go check out episode 200 of the Nice Guys on Business. That was a classic.
Oh my God.
Episode
Where is
200.
that video? Is that posted somewhere?
I don't
Did
know.
we even save the file? Because we did videotape it.
We had to have. That would be the greatest thing to post
onto YouTube. We should put
YouTube.
that on the YouTube channel. Yeah.
Episode 200. If you want every fucking laugh in the book, we had a sponsor, Mantra Munchies. I believe that was our sponsor. We had a videographer. I think that was Gary, if I remember correctly.
We had multi-camera set up, and Gary was doing a mix.
And that was in the basement of your house, I think,
in the basement of my house. And if I remember correctly, I was pretty drunk by the end of it. I think we were drinking while it was going on, if I remember correctly.
Where would we even find that? Like, you have one note.
That's it. I don't even fucking know where to look for it. But I am now going to try to hunt that down. Yeah.
All right.
Because you were there, right? We did it. We were both living. It was in my basement.
We were living. I was not living. It was not Beavis and Butthead. I was not living in Strickland's basement. I was living probably about a mile down the road from where Strickland was living in the Ellicott City, and he was in Elkridge, and Maryland. And I came over. There was so much complexity it was ridiculous how much effort we put into that production.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun though. And
all right, let's head out of here. I got ribs to get to in the meantime, unless you have anything else to cover.
No.
Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, I'm Steve O'Brien. Fill up your week with the Nice Guys. Trust me, this is going to hurt me a lot less than it's going to hurt you.